Hey, Dennis Schulter here with JAG Softball. We're going to present angles and distances. I'm part of the JAG softball officials that work out of Softball City, USA in Salem, Oregon. We are proud to be part of USA Softball of Oregon. That's my little picture there. And we work out of Wallace Marine Park. Great facility. If you get a chance to come officiate there, you want to make sure you stop by and make your way out here. It's a great facility run by Billy Powers and Travel Salem. They do a phenomenal job year after year on the preparation of Wallace Marine. Absolutely pristine facility. So come on out, and when you do, say hi if you would. So here we go, angles and distances. So where's the starting point? The starting point is with four key elements. You always have to have these four things in front of you. It's no mystery. The four things are the ball, the base, and then the offense, and of course the defense. If you have all four of these elements in front of you as you're about to make a call, then you're going to make the right call. In most cases, you're going to. But you have to have these four key elements in front of you as a starting point as you kind of identify what angle should you be at. There's more to it than that, as you would imagine, or we'd all be officials. But the bottom line is that you have to read and observe the interaction between the base, the ball, the offense, and the defense. And what that means is adjust to the play. You get to X marks the spot, you get right there, but then you have to make adjustments by reading and observing the play. Did the first baseman come off the base? Is there going to be a tag up the line? Those are adjustments you have to make, along with keeping those four key elements in front of you. So chat a little bit about force outs and some key things to remember when you're working through those four key elements. Is the defense controlling the ball? Do they have control of the ball? Is it the defense contacting the base? Again, this is force outs. Is the offense contacting the base? You know, it seems pretty simple in general, but, you know, bottom line is you have to kind of keep an eye on not only the four key elements, but in a force out, you got to make sure all these other things are happening, particular defense controlling the ball, contacting the base, and is the offense contacting the base? Tag plays, is the defense contacting the offense with the ball? They could have the ball over here and they're tagging them with this hand. No go, as we all know. There's no mystery about that for sure. But in tag plays, is the defense contacting the offense with the ball? Is the defense maintaining control of the ball? And finally, is the offense contacting the base on a tag play? So again, it goes back to the four key elements, force outs and tag plays. You've got to make some adjustments, and we're going to go through those adjustments. But it's much more than just having the four key elements. You've got to get that good angle, and we're gonna go ahead and kind of explain that a little bit. So let's talk about understanding the interactions of the four elements while moving to position. Watch the fielder field the ball. Bottom line, and don't give up on it. Now watch the fielder field the ball, and then track that ball all the way to first base or second base, etc. But it's a key piece of making sure that you're getting into a right position, that you track the ball. See the fielder field the ball. Move parallel to the baseline, keeping proper distance from the play. This picture down here, this official is doing a good job of running parallel. He's out of the way, keeping a nice distance from the play. But that interaction there is key as you consider the four elements. And again, moving parallel to the baseline is really a very key mechanic, if you will. Let the ball turn your head, taking you up to the play as you square up. And that means square up with your hips and your head. As the ball gets to the play, make sure that you're square to that play, right in front of it. This official down here, this is a local JAG official, Kelly Deminu. That's at a 14 National. She's about to square up right there. You see the ball off to the side. She's got her eyes on it. She's tracking it, and then she's going to square up to the play for sure. And then more importantly, probably than anything, stop, read the play, and make the call. And really, it doesn't get any simpler. It's simplified. Any simpler than that. Stop and read the play and make the call. Don't rush it. Play's not going anywhere. It's right in front of you. Stop, read the play, and then make the call. Especially you new officials out there, don't rush it. Don't get all excited because you're on the field. Bottom line is to take your time on these calls. Difficult situations, things to try to avoid. Here you've got a fielder blocking the view. You can't see that tag. You got a nice little angle there, but boy, you should be a little bit more up the line so that you can see that tag. So you always want to make sure that the fielders are not blocking your view, and you have to anticipate that. You got to read and observe. Is there an overthrow? You can see an overthrow happening. The first baseman comes off the base to get the ball. They jump up. The shortstop on second base comes off the ball to get an errant throw and a tag. That's what this second graphic here, this picture over here is. You can see that developing. So you want to make sure that you consider an overthrow to a base. Difficult situations that you want to consider. And then you want to make sure you jump into your secondary position. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But it's the next position assumed by the umpire after the initial play through continuous action. So the first baseman comes off the bag. There's a tag up the first baseline. You have to make that adjustment. That's the continuous action. But these are difficult situations that you have to factor in. Really starts with reading and observing the play, anticipating that as you see it develop. So what is your distance and your primary viewing angles? Well, it starts with making sure you understand a little bit about, and this is nobody on a play at first base, but you want to be 18 to 21 feet on a force out. How come? Because here's a player, a first baseman who's 5 foot 5 inches tall. And she has a reach of 7 feet 8 inches. So, you know, if you're 12 feet from the play, you're too close, you're going to be able to see the feet, but you're not going to be able to see the catch. I mean, even at 15 feet from the play, you're not going to be able to see all 4 key elements. And so on a force out, you want to be 18 to 21 feet back. It gives you the best angle, and it gives you the best to view the ball, the base, the offense, and the defense. Remember, these players are tall. The closer you are, the more you're going to miss. So stay back 18 to 21 feet with nobody on plays at first base. And most force outs in general. In fact, all force outs. So here's a player who's 6'2". They have a reach of 10 feet 1 inches tall, and at 12 feet from the play, you're too close. You can't see it. 15 feet from the play, still too close. You want to be 18 to 21 feet from the play. It again gives you the best angle, the best look at the ball, the base, the offense, and the defense. So stay back, don't rush the call, and you'll see it develop and make a good call. All right, so now what about a primary position? Where do you go to first? And well, X marks the spot as you're learning how to officiate. But here's 2 key points to understanding a primary position. The initial location used by an umpire to rule on a play as the base runner approaches the base or as a play develops. It's the initial location. You got to know where to go. X marks the spot, but you want to make sure that you make those adjustments as the play develops once again. But it is the initial location as far as understanding the primary position, which is determined by the prospect of a traditional play. Again, in a normal situation, you're going to get to that spot, hopefully make the call. A lot of routine force outs, you're going to get to your spot, make the call, but you're always going to be adjusting, and that's the primary position. It is the umpire's line of vision as it forms a 90-degree angle perpendicular to the path of the base runner on a tag into the base, the application of a tag and a tag play not involving a base, and finally the path of the flight of the ball on a force play. So you want to go back over and read this, stop the PowerPoint, go back over and take another look at that. Those 3 key elements are important as you try to get a 90-degree angle perpendicular to the play. All right, force outs and plays at first base. Start with force outs here. So force outs, understand what 90 degrees from the throw mean. It literally means exactly that. So here's a very quick graphic. You've got our umpire there. You see our 90 degrees. Here's the throw coming in, let's just say from second base or wherever. That's what we're talking about, that 90 degrees from the throw. 18 to 21 feet, of course, on a force out. If you got to play at first base, no further than a 45-degree angle from the foul line at first base. So here's the graphic that shows a little bit about the 45. We're going to get into it in just a moment. But you never want to be beyond that 45 degrees, whether you're at first base, well, at first base in particular. You're not going to go beyond that. Of course, you're not going to make any calls from foul territory. You're going to be somewhere between that 45 and closer to the foul line, depending on the play. A tag place, primary position is 90 degrees to the path of the runner. We talked about that earlier. You're going to be 12 to 15 feet from the base that they're trying to reach. Now, we've talked a lot about 18 to 21 feet Here we're talking about 12 to 15 feet from the base that they're trying to reach. You want to be a little bit closer, square up, close in on the play, make that call. But on a tag play, you got to get a little bit closer, and it's 12 to 15 feet. Secondary position on tags plays really has a lot to do with making sure that you move to get an unobstructed view of the play. Now in this graphic here, that's actually a footstool I'm standing on. I got a 6'5" umpire and a 6'3". So if you need to take a step stool on the field to get an unobstructed view, nah, I wouldn't do that, that's for sure. A little bit of angles and distance humor, you know, maybe not. Okay, good. The best angle is 90 degrees to the tag that allows you to see through the play. And what does see through the play mean? Exactly that. You've got the runner and the base and the defense all coming together. You want to see right through that play so you can make the best call that you can by stopping, reading the play, and making the call. And that's on tag plays. Some visual indicators for the alignment at first base. So let's start with something that proper depth at first base. We talked a little bit about 18 to 21 feet off the foul line. You're square to the home plate. Nobody's on, of course. That visual cue is really that angle there off the corner of second base. If you're back 18 to 21 feet, you should have a nice angle to that inside point of second base as it points toward right field. This line will help you visualize that, but that's a starting point for sure. Proper angle, if you will, from the outside corner of the first base to the inside back corner. That is your 45 degrees that we've been chatting about. That's how you square up. I mean, that's where you get to on nobody on, you're on first base. You're gonna come inside the line 3 or 4 steps, get to that 45. Here's your visual cue, the corner of the base. That's your 45. You're not gonna go beyond that. And oftentimes you're going to have to make adjustments, and we're going to talk about those in a moment. Not past the foul line, but somewhere in there, but no further than 45 degrees. And there it is. There's another graphic. It's called Get Your 45 Blue. You have a nice 45 on the play, but there's another graphic that kind of visualizes that 45 as we talk about that, and as we kind of keep going on the presentation. So let's help you visualize 90 degrees to the throw. Here's a throw from the shortstop, and you've got your U1. He's already out there, if you will. Here comes the pitch, and here comes the throw from the shortstop. And there, my friends, is that 90 degrees that we're talking about. Now, it looks like he or she may not have gotten that 45-degree angle. That's okay. You got 90 degrees from the throw, and that's key. So when you hear 90 degrees from the throw, that's what you're talking about. You got the throw coming in, and do you have that nice 90 degrees? Now, a throw from second base, assume nobody's on, ball's hit up the middle. Shortstop grabs the ball right behind second base and fires over there. You're going to come in about 1 step. How come? Because you want to get that 90-degree angle on the throw. So you got to read that play. Here you're certainly not at a 45. You got 1 step inside as you focus on getting that 90 degrees from the throw from second base. Not second baseman, that's different, but from second base. Now here's a throw from the shortstop area. We covered that a little bit. You're going to bust in about 2.5, 3 steps, starting position 18 to 21 feet. There's your visual cue as your starting point. Here we go. Here's the shortstop throwing the ball, and again, a 90-degree angle from the throw. Throws from third base area. You're going to see my little blinking yellow third baseman pop up over there. That's actually on third. You don't see many throws from on third base, especially with nobody on. This is designed to help you visualize what 90 degrees is. So there's your starting point, your visual cue. Here's the umpire coming in, and then there's the throw. See the umpire score up to the base, but that's the 90 degrees. So from the throw. So it depends on where the throw is coming from, but again, these slides here are designed to help you visualize what we mean about that 90 degrees from the throw. And it doesn't happen overnight. It took me a year or two to sort of go, I get it, 90 degrees from the throw. And then what starts happening is you start making adjustments from your initial positions when you consider 90 degrees from the third base area. Now this red triangle really is designed to say, look, anything in this red triangle here, you're going to try to get 90 degrees from the throw. Pitcher fields the ball, third baseman fields the ball, and you're going to want to try to get that 90 degrees. You're not going to go beyond that 45, but this allows for the best view of the play while giving the umpire the ability to move back to first base in case there's a tag. So again, 90 degrees to the throw. You read the throw coming in. The first baseman comes off the line. Then you're going to have to make that adjustment back toward the foul line so you get a good look at that tag. Going to move in a little bit. Tag plays are 12 to 15 feet. Angles on steals at second base. So here we're going to talk a little bit about the leading edge with the runner on first base only. You see our umpire is on the first base side of the second baseman, if you will. You want to make sure you get that leading edge. Now, what is that leading edge? That leading edge is the front edge of the base that the player is sliding into. They may be coming back to first base on a back pick on this. The catcher fires to first base. Your leading edge now becomes that area on first base where the player is sliding into. That's the leading edge. Did you get that 45? Did you get that leading edge? Did you have all four elements, things to consider as you're making the call? So here we go. We're going to get 15 to 12 feet, 12 to 15 feet from that tag play. There's the runner, and then you see the umpire busting over there. Now you can see that runner taking off because you're watching her leaving early anyways. But you also can hear things like she's going. You know that runner's going. Get over there, get that leading edge, especially on a steal from first to second. Should be no reason that you can't get there before the runner if you're reading and observing the play. This picture's pretty cool because look at this official right on the leading edge on a steal at second base. Notice that he squared up to the plate, the hips and the head. That went through this PowerPoint with a colleague, Kelly Demanu. She pointed that out. Thanks, Kelly. Exactly right. This umpire is a square and about to make a good call, closing in on the play 12 to 15 feet. Got that leading edge, and that's on a steal from first to second base. So let's talk about views from different angles. No one on, and again, we're going to talk about a throw from third base. So here's that red triangle, and again, you're going to remember that anytime there's a throw from this area, a pitcher, third base, catcher, unless there's a tag, not so much the catcher, that's hard to get, but first a pitcher and third base for sure. You're going to get that 90 degrees to the throw unless something happens and then you're going to make an adjustment. So here we go. Here's a throw from third base. Do you have a good angle here? Is that a 45 that you're looking for? Are you 90 degrees from the throw? And the answer is no. You're too close to the foul line here. Now that's a 45. It really is a classic 45. You've got all four key elements. That graphic that we showed you of the outer edges of first base, you're right at that 45. Yeah, this is a good angle here. This is what we're talking about from visualizing not only the 45, but 90 degrees from the throw from the third baseman inside that red triangle. Be sure you're 18 to 21 feet. Not a tag play. This is a force out, so you want to be back a little bit. We went through that a few slides ago. Make sure you're not too close. You won't see all the elements. So here's a couple other views on a tag play at first base here. You got to read the play. This first baseman has come off the bag, so you can't stay there at X marks the spot at that 45 degree. And again, this is the throw from third baseman. You can't stay there. So is this a good play? I mean, a good position for an umpire? The answer is no. You want to anticipate the play, see the tag play developing at first base. And if the tag is in foul territory like this one here, you got to move up toward the foul line and try to get close in a bit, try to get 12 to 15 feet from the play. And so what is the best angle to see a tag up the line? Does this 45 give you the best angle on a tag up? No, it doesn't. You can see you're actually a little bit beyond 45 here. And here, does this give you a nice angle? And in fact, it does. It gives you the best unobstructed view. You can see the tag. You're not past the foul line, and you've made an adjustment on that throw there. But and again, you're 12 to 15 feet. This picture does a great job of seeing that you get to that foul line, or close enough, not beyond the foul line, and you can see that tag. But you got to make that adjustment to get the best unobstructed view of the tag. As you move closer to the foul line in fair territory, make sure you see the tag and you've got all four key elements in front of you: the ball, the base, the offense, and the defense. So what about throws from the second baseman? This says second baseman. Now we're talking about the second baseman. Well, you're not always going to be able to get that 45 because you're going to be in the way. So you're going to have to back off. The closer that second baseman is to you, you may only take one or two steps inside, but you're not going to get that 45 on most plays. If the shortstop is up the middle, backhands the ball, fires to first base, you can get a 90-degree angle, but you won't be at that 45. So you want to make sure that you adjust your angle on throws from second base. So here we go. got to cut down your angle, and I think we chatted about that. Move into fair territory. On most plays, it's going to be less than 45. And again, here we go. Here's the throw. Notice that our official took a couple steps inside, squared up to the play, and made a nice call at 18 to 21 feet off the bag because it's a force out. But it's important to visualize that when that ball's hit to the second baseman, you're not going to get that 45. You're going to have to read and observe, not go too far into fair territory, and then make a nice call, making sure that you have all 4 key elements in front of you. But you're not going to get that 45 on most plays on a throw from the second baseman. Okay, so nobody on throws from second base. Let's take another look at a couple pictures here. Is this a good angle? And the answer is no, because it's in foul territory. We're never in foul territory to make a call. Bottom line is no, it's not. So let's take another look at another picture. What about this angle here? Is this a good angle on the throw from the second baseman? The answer is you're too far. You got a 45 here. That's not where you want to be. And the problem is it's a nice 45, but can you see the pulled foot? And the answer is you can't. Second baseman gets the ball, you got to cut down that angle. And so bottom line, as you get closer to that foul line, you're going to be able to see that pulled foot. And there it is. She's off the bag, and stop and read the play. Take your time on it. You know, safe, off the bag. Although we don't say off the bag, we just say safe for sure. But there you go, pulled foot in there. So pickoffs at second base, a lot of good pictures here. That picture in the lower right-hand corner is one of my favorite pictures. There's nothing to do with pickoffs on second base, but man, it's just a great picture for sure. So, all right, so lots going to happen on this slide. You see our umpire is actually on the third base side of the shortstop. That is not correct. In two-man, you should be in a runner on second base, which is that green triangle there. You should be on the second base side of the shortstop. So we'll fix that. But for now, as we kind of go through this, you're going to see the pitch, nice curveball. You're going to see that umpire try to get that leading edge. And in this graphic, they're going to get that leading edge. But you may not always be able to get that. You want to make sure you stop and read the play, make the call. You're not going to always get to that leading edge. In this graphic, the umpire is going to get to that leading edge. So let's take a look at this. Here's the pitch and the leadoff. Pickoffs at second base. You see the umpire is there. They squared up. They got that leading edge. And again, you're not always going to be able to get that leading edge. Try to get there for sure. Try to anticipate that. But bottom line, it's more important to stop and read the play and make the call. And what that means by stopping is you're not going to get to that leading edge. Stop, read the play, and make the call. It really is, again, that simple. Stop, see the play, don't rush it, make the call. Or read the play, make the call. So there we go, plays at second base. So hey, that's it. That simple. Go back through this a couple times and you'll have angles and distances down. Force outs at 18 to 21 feet, tag plays at 12 to 15 feet. Key terms like the 4 key elements, get an unobstructed view, get that 45. All of those are key umpire terms that as you try to learn angles and distances, especially when it comes to primary position, secondary position. So hey, I appreciate you being here. My name is Dennis Schulter. I'm proud to be part of JAG Softball out of Softball City, USA. Look us up on jagsoftball.com. Email us, give us some feedback on this. Proud to be a member of USA Softball of Oregon. So there you go, angles and distances. Thanks again. This is Dennis Schulter, signing off.